Hey Audio Fam, CJ here with Prodigy Creations. Today we're going to take a look at the CLA-76, one of the most popular compressor plugins created by Waves, and one of my personal favorites as well. Before we get started today, I just want to mention that if at any point during the video you'd like to check out this plugin for yourself, I have provided a link in the video description that will lead you right to it. Feel free to click on that at any time. So the CLA-76 is a plug-in version of a real-life hardware compressor known as the 1176. Waves partnered with the famous mixing engineer Chris Lord-Alge to create this plugin, hence where the name CLA comes in. But all the history aside, what can this compressor do for your mix? There's really no limit to the amount of things you can use it for, but let me show you how I used it in this instance. In this project, which is like a short rock music instrumental that I'm creating for somebody, I used the CLA-76 on my kick and my snare. So let me show you what that's doing for the mix. So with the CLA-76 on my kick and snare, it adds a lot more aggression to them, makes them stand out more in the mix. The kick even sounds a bit punchier to me, and I'm a fan of that. I think what can make or break a rock song is how well the drums can be heard and how much clarity they have. And I feel like the CLA-76 helped out quite a bit with that. Just as a side note, a big reason I'm able to get this sound is because I created a return track and I sent both my kick and snare to that track, and that is where they're getting compressed. This is a method called parallel compression, and the benefit of that is that I can keep my unaltered kick and snare tracks intact, and then I can mix in the compressed kick and snare alongside it. But that's a different topic for a different video, but I felt like it was worth mentioning. So let's dive deeper into how this works and how you can use it. First thing I want to mention is that technically you get two different compressors when you purchase the CLA-76 from Waves. If you notice down here at the bottom of the plugin, you see you have two options that say bluey and blacky. And you can see they change appearance, but this isn't just a cosmetic change. It's also changing the way it sounds. What kind of differences there are between them is again a whole other topic in itself. But just know that you have these two options to experiment with. So you got your input and output dials. Oftentimes the default setting actually works really well in my experience, but in this instance my drums were going into the 76 pretty hot, so I had to dial down the input a bit. You can click on this in button in your meter section and that will show you how hot the signal is going in. And then if needed, you can use the input dial to take it down. If it's hitting 0 on the meter, and especially if this red light comes on, too much volume is either being put in or coming out of the compressor. And it's the exact same principles with the output. You can click on the out in the meter section, then it will display your output meter, and then you can use the output dial as needed. In theory, you want your input and output meters to be reading relatively the same. However, my personal philosophy is that it's better to gain volume from a compressor than to lose volume. And if the red light ever comes on for you, after you make your adjustments, you can click on it and it will reset it. And then you can play back your track to test it again. The main controls of this compressor, in my opinion, all live in this neighborhood: the ratio, the attack, and the release. So let's start with ratio. Ratio essentially means how aggressively you want the compressor to reduce the volume. The higher the ratio number, the more volume it will decrease, and the lower ratio number, the less volume it will decrease. You have 5 different ratio options to choose from: a 4-to-1, a 8-to-1, a 12-to-1, 20-to-1, and this interesting choice down here that simply goes by the name all. So what does that mean? The all option means if you were to hit all 4 of the ratio buttons in at the same time, that is the sound that you would get from it. I've heard that this was something engineers would often do with the real 1176 compressor to get a really crazy aggressive sound. So I like to use that feature on drums when I really want them to pop. But click through the different options as you're mixing and see which one seems like the right choice for your particular track. And then next we've got attack and release. Starting with attack, this means how quickly you want the compressor to clamp down the audio. So when you're adjusting this, you will select the GR in the meter section, GR meaning gain reduction, or in other words, volume reduction. And 1 is the slowest attack time and 7 is the highest. So basically 7 will reduce volume the most and 1 will reduce volume the least. However, it is worth noting that the way 76 compressors are designed, either side of this attack dial is going to give you what Waves likes to call, and I quote, super fast attack times. 7, which is the fastest setting, will reduce your signal in less than 50 microseconds. How insane is that? But even on 1, your slowest setting, it's still pretty dang fast at 1 millisecond. So dial that in wherever you feel is right. Keep an eye on your GR meter to see how much volume is being reduced. Okay. And with release, this is going to control how quickly your volume resets after being reduced by the attack. And again, same concept with the knob. 1 will be the slowest release time, meaning it takes longer for your volume to reset. And 7 is the fastest release time, meaning your volume will reset as quickly as possible. That is pretty much the essentials of the CLA-76. Really awesome compressor, and there's really no limit to what you can use it with. You can use it with vocals, guitars, drums, as you saw me do, anything you want, really. Just want to remind you, if you're interested in learning more about the CLA-76, or if you're wanting to purchase it, I have provided a link in the video description that will take you right to the CLA-76. It is an affiliate link, so simply by clicking on it and purchasing through it, you will be supporting me in a big way, and you'll allow me to continue to create free content. Thank you to all who are willing to do that for me, and thank you to everyone for taking the time to watch my video today. Give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Leave a comment if you have any questions. And if you want to be a part of my audio fam, hit that subscribe button, and we'll hang out more often. This is CJ with Prodigy Creations. See you next time, my friends.